Hey, Shalom Israel. I'm a precinct officer of 5,000 Thabawan, here with Captain GadalHar of 13,000. Just wanted to ask Captain GadalHar a couple questions, man. Seeing your work ethic as a man under you, and how zealous you are, it only motivates. It's damn near contagious. How the zeal to go to camp and do videos and breakdowns and want to stay on top of our teachings, and I'm always asking questions and things like that. So I mean, from that standpoint, you're very reputable, very, very learned. I mean, that water baptism breakdown is fire. Salakia. You know what I'm saying?
That's your favorite breakdown?
That's my personal favorite breakdown. You know what I mean? Alongside the Gentile breakdown, because those are like the two first ones that I really heard and that I personally asked questions about. But I want to go, and ask you, what was it like? Because, I mean, you wasn't always in the position that you in now.
Yeah.
So there's always like I don't want to say origin story, but, a beginning.
Yeah.
What was it like? How'd you come across I.S.U.P.K? What was it like for you, to transition from the world to the truth? Was it, hard for you? Was it, easy for you? Was it a lifestyle that you had to leave? You know what I mean? What's some of the roots of Captain GadalHar?
Man, first of all, the water, I appreciate what you said, man. And pretty much all my coming up is any brothers I know coming up, man. Like, you got some brothers that come from, a certain walk of life, and other brothers come from a different walk of life. But mine's happened a little, I guess, younger. You know what I mean? I heard about the truth when I was about 19 years old. You know what I mean? 19 years old. And of course I heard it and I loved it. I loved the truth. I was like, man, this is what I have to do. Literally when I heard it, because I heard Commander Yahanna, I said, this is what I have to do. But I didn't do it at the time. So my transition was very difficult because my discipline wasn't there at all. You know what I mean? So like I heard what Commander Yahanna said. I watched it wasn't even YouTube. It was a Vivo or something like that. It was Daily Motion. Oh, you remember that? Yeah, they had Daily Motion. So I watched that on there, and Commander Yahanna was going crazy. He was talking about Jesus is black and God hates your Thanksgiving and your Christmas. And I had a Bible, which was an NIV at the time. It was similar, but I'm like, why is it not saying the same thing? I'll get to that in a second. So I'm like, damn, why is he saying this out the Bible? I wasn't religious. I wasn't looking for the truth. It was just crazy. And I had a brother I grew up with who is now Captain Rajazaya. Shout out Captain Rajazaya, Atlanta. We grew up together. You know what I mean? We grew up together, and he found the truth first, and he told me about the truth. And he would say, he would tell me like, yeah, I didn't tell you because, he thought I was so heavy into what I was into that I would never get it. So he would talk to our other friend more and thinking he would get it. You know what I mean? So then when he told me about it, I would always brush him off like, yeah, all right, bro. Like, I get it. Like, he was like me. I was like, okay, you moved. You're on some new journey, shit. Whatever, bro. Like, you do your thing. Just don't holler at me right now about that. But then when I got in some trouble, I was like, man, what was you talking about, man? Like, and he broke it down to me. You got to get humble sometimes. And I got humbled. And I was like, damn, man, I'm going to really check that out because, I'm in the situation I'm in because he told me if I kept doing what I was doing, I was going to go to jail. And I went to jail. And the first call I made was calling him. I called my mother and I told her the three-way Rajazaya. So he got three-way with me and I told him, bro, I'm in jail. What was you talking about? I got released like 2 days later. And I was like, oh no, I got to take this serious. You know what I mean? I got to take this serious because that brother said something. I never found out when people tell you something, then it actually happened. That extreme. So I was kind of like, took him back. You know what I'm saying? So when he told me, like, man, check this link out. Check this video out. There's a video of Commander Yahanna talking about Christ is black and God hates Christmas. And it was in the Bible. And I was like looking at him like, wait, what are you talking about? Right. So it was very confusing to me. I did my research more and I got the number to call and, all that.
Okay. Solid. And Kabrat Zaya, Big ups to Captain Ratazai out in Atlanta, Georgia, man, holding it down, man. So, okay, getting the name GadalHar, right? What does GadalHar mean? And when you know how we get a name, and then you get told why you getting that name.
Right.
What were you told? I wasn't there, so I want to know. You know what I mean?
I got you, man. You ask good questions, man. Like, first of all, General Haas gave my name, man. You feel me? General Haas gave my name one day, and I would, I was young, and I was working with my mother at the time, and me and my mother, we would drive from work back home. I was like 19, 20 years old, and I'm listening to the class. Mind you, I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm battling. I'm battling, smoking weed, whatever. I'm battling, but I'm still in class. And during my battle, I stopped smoking and all that. And I listened to the class while we're riding back from work to home. Mm-hmm. And the class is loud in the car.
Okay.
You feel me? Because I'm like, nah, we gotta listen to this. You feel me? Like, we gotta listen to this. So all through our listening, one day we're listening to the class. And he says, before we end class, I gotta get his brother his name. He been rocking, going hard. And I'm like, damn. I heard this like 3-4 times at this point. I'm like, ooh, someone getting their name. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this what's up. And he goes, yeah. He said my slate. And I said, oh, it's me.
It was in the car.
Yeah, my mom riding with me and shit. And I'm like, oh, it's me. Like, oh. And he was like, yeah, brother, you've been going hard. Like, like you've been doing your thing. You've been checking in. You've been this. And I'm like, damn, like,
it's for real.
I gotta stop doing what I'm doing. I gotta get strong now. You know what I'm saying? So he gave my Hebrew name, and I was like, yeah, my name is it was something like, I couldn't really hear it. I thought he said bounty hunter. I said bounty hunter. That's hard. I said that's hard. That's hard. So when I called him, I left later. When I got dropped off, I left later. I got my car. I went to the liquor store, and I was like, I'm just celebrating, by myself. With no one, because I had no one to celebrate with, by the way. So I want to go get me some strong. Yeah, I want to get me some strong. And I'm like, I called General Haas. He was captain of 13,000 at the time. And I said, Slacky, sir, you said my name was what again? And he said, yeah, GadalHar. I said, oh, Most High God. I said, Slack, so what does that mean? I heard you say something like bounty hunter or something like that. He said, nah. He said, nah. It means strong mountain. I said, oh, strong mountain. I said, Most High Christ, sir. So why you, if you don't mind me asking, I said, why you pick the name Strong Mountain, right? He goes, man, you've been dealing with a lot. You dealt with a lot, and you kept it solid. You kept it 1,000. In his words, though, right. He was like, you did your thing, and and just to let you know, I was a brother that was like came into the truth like as a young man and was like, this too hard, and I came back again like I can't do it. And then I was like, you know what, I gotta really do this. So he was like, man, you stay strong. Like the world was trying to take you, and he said, but you kept the course. And so I was like, ooh. All right. So then when I looked up the name, it meant strong mountain. It meant giant. It meant big. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the Lord's name. You know what I mean? So that's how I got the name and all that.
Okay. I think that's heavy that you brought that out because a lot of brothers come to class. They might get their Hebrew name, and then that's when Satan really started targeting you. Sure. Satan is targeting you. He's going to use your woman. Yeah. He's going to use your job. Yeah. You forget, your woman going to leave you. Sure. Your woman you might as well just have it in your head. Your woman, damn near about 9 times out of 10, she's going to leave you. Yeah. So just accept it. Get you another one. You'll be all right. But, situations with your family, you might stay with your family, depending on your age or whatever the situation may be, and they might be celebrating Christmas, and you start, I ain't really dealing with that. Then you're gonna feel the tension in the house. Sure. There's so many scenarios a brother can go through, and it's easy to leave. Yeah. It's harder to stay. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I commend every brother that stays. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's very courageous of you. For sure. Another thing I wanted to ask you, right? Being of course you went through, you got your troopership. Yeah. You got raised up to officer of 50. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, like for me, I first saw you when you was a 5,000 in the camo. and you had the little fro, and you was battling some Christians on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah. So that's like, okay, when you went to the rank of a captain, right? I know something in your mind. You was like, okay, like what came into your mind? Like, damn, like, you know what I mean? I don't even know where to begin. Okay. But like, did you feel like a weight of, you was already responsible, but like even more responsibility, or like basically like being the captain, 10,000, 13,000. What do you feel like your mindset has to be?
Yeah. Well, I want to touch on what you said earlier about like the dealings with your family,
right?
Because like I said, I was a young man coming into the truth. I lived with my family. I was 19, 20. You feel me? 21 even. Like I lived with them. You know what I mean? Like, and I always had like, I always had females. I go over their crib. I'm like, man, my house over here though. Right. You know what I mean? Like, get away from y'all. I'm coming over here. So, but I had to deal with that. Like dealing with you living with your family and they in the world and you in the truth. And if it wasn't for like brothers like Quan, like the Walga Bar, Regalia, like, as much as I've helped them, they've helped me. You get what I'm saying? Like, seriously. They came at a perfect time where it was like, oh, man, like without them, I don't know how strong I'll be. But they was so excellent without even knowing that it was perfect. You feel me? So I want to say that. So now I'll go to what you asked, right? What I felt like was, at a rank of 5,000, man, it's a huge responsibility in itself. But when you get ranked up, to that captainship, first of all, I didn't even see it coming. Second of all, when it happened, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is, man, what? I'm a captain. That man, everyone's goal is to get ranked up. I don't care what you say. Like, you can say, like, no, I ain't even tripping. Why wouldn't you want to get ranked up? Are you working hard or not? You get what I'm saying? Like, when you don't get ranked at certain times, it can be various reasons. But you're working so you can get ranked up, straight up. You know what I mean? So when I got the captainship, it was amazing. It was a good feeling. It was a moment of status. You're in the I.S.U.P.K. You're getting noticed for your hard work and all that. But this what came with it. Ain't no more, hey, brother, you doing a good job. Right. I ain't heard good job in years. I ain't heard anything in years. When you become a captain, like, and you think like you're getting closer to the kingdom of heaven, really you're getting farther away. Demons get to surging on you something crazy, brother. Oh, you think I'm playing?
I believe it.
Yeah, I'll say this publicly for everyone. Demons will surge on you something crazy because they feel like you're closer to the crown. When you get closer to the crown, demons are going to wake up that you never thought demons would have. So, like, I struggled with a sense of responsibility for about a month or two. It was just a difference, and I had to catch up. You get what I'm saying? Like that rank thing was just different, and I had to catch up. And I finally got the hang of like the seriousness of my rank. And so once you get the seriousness of your rank, you're like, okay, all right, well, this is the speed we're going at. This is the level we're going at. So that's the seriousness of it. But of course, like, there's downsides and there's good sides. So like if you watch sports, as a quarterback in the NFL, right? Right. Who gets all the blame? The quarterback. Who gets all the glory? The quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Right. So it depends on how your team play is how you're gonna get viewed. If your team plays like this, it's your fault. I don't care. I care what your defense do. I don't care how bad your offensive line is. How good is your quarterback? You get what I'm saying? So now, when you do bad, and it ain't your fault at all, the quarterback throwing 300 yards a game, doing what he do, he losing every game though. It's your fault. You're the quarterback. Right. Being a captain is being like a quarterback. So, how good of a quarterback do you want to be? You have to elevate your team. Your team sometimes saves the quarterback. Right. You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where my team literally saved me, but then it's vice versa. I saved my team too, but I want to be like, Tom Brady, Salakia, he a devil. I want to win championships. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna win championships. But I ain't jumping teams though. Right. That's for sure. Right. My team is always gonna be right here. You dig what I mean? Right. And I'm willing to put some starters where they need to be. Because you got to be a coach too, by the way. Right. You know what I mean? Go ahead though.
No, that's heavy. That whole quarterback analogy is, superb, in my opinion. And I think I can really see the visual. One more thing I want to ask you. One thing that stood out to me, right, being on the West Coast, being in California specifically. Yeah. When General Muhammad came out here, sometimes he comes out here and teaches a class, or we have the cookouts and things like that. Yeah. I think it was about 2 cookouts ago, after the wrap up and we circle up, and he, Commander General Yahanna said his words, which is always electrifying and needed. But then General Muhammad, he grabbed the mic and he was saying how he commends brothers on the West Coast because we so far from the East Coast, and how he sees the faith out here. Like, it takes faith to really live what we say, what we talk about, and teaching class and things like that, and how we move, and for you to uphold, the U.P.K standard and hold everybody else, all the men under you, to that standard. When it's so easy to not, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to be like phony in this world. You see so many phony fake Israelites that portray to be, and they even go as far as saying One West, which they're not really One West. So really keeping it One West is following, you understand, the heads of the school, beginning with Commander General Yahanna, 13th Shield, Commander General Yahanna, and the generals and the captains, right? But I want to ask you this: with such rich history, like in California alone, as far as the school goes, for it to be nothing, and then for you to step into that, like, what? How do you think about that?
Man, this brother's the best question asker ever, bro. No, but what you said was so perfect. I remember that too. And I remember brothers used to call me too. I'm like, man, y'all brothers really love the Lord. And I didn't really get what they were saying until I still don't get what they saying.
Brothers
in the school.
Okay.
Brothers in the school be like, man, y'all brothers really love the Lord, man. Y'all way out there. I'm like, I didn't really get it because of course we do. Because being around them, they was the blueprint. You get what I'm saying? They was a blueprint on how you have to be. So, like, I don't care how far you are. There's brothers in Birmingham. Right. Where they at? United Kingdom. And they are One West. Them brothers in Trinidad. Before them, it was, the farthest place was probably California. Straight up. Right. It'd be across the country. You know what I mean? But so, like, for them to realize, like, oh, like, like, y'all in California, y'all love the Lord. Like, yeah, we love the Lord. You get what I'm saying? But this is the thing that they probably forget. Not forget, but they don't think of is, California is a place where people is going to be from. Like, we're going to be people that God loves. There's too many niggas out here. And more importantly, man, the Lord chose these brothers. Like, it's easy to say, like, oh, man, how y'all do it? Because y'all do it. You feel me? Like, y'all do it, and the Lord, just how the Lord chose y'all, He chose us, and it was under y'all tutelage. You get what I'm saying? Listen, when I came into the truth, man, and I met brothers, from Philly and DC and New York and all that. My first time ever, I never experienced a brotherhood like that in my life. So my job, without really knowing, was to exemplify and show what they've done on my side. You get what I'm saying? Right. Even though at the time I was a young man, it didn't matter to me. My responsibility to my men was to show them this. Quam knows from the beginning. Thawaga Bar knows from the beginning. Regalia knows from the beginning. Lahab knows from the beginning. You get what I'm saying? Our brotherhood in California was infectious, not because of me, because of what the brothers in the East Coast showed me. Right. You get what I'm saying? They showed me how to be that way. So now I showed them how to be this way, and then they showed every brother that they meet to be that way. So like, that was nothing. Like, that was nothing, being out here and loving the Lord, man, because the Lord when the Lord chooses you and he shows you the truth, you have no other, choice but to do what we do.
Right.
You get what I mean? So that was the easy part. You know what I mean? And look at California now, right? Quan, we got Southern California. Throw out one, we got Northern California, right. Arizona, Las Vegas. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Seattle, Oregon, Washington. Like, you feel me?
New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico. Like, before we came out here, they had a school in California. Yeah. Before it was me, before it was us, they had California on lock, going crazy. But where they at?
They went with the Lord one.
Yeah, where they at now, man? A lot of cats say, man, I used to be in school back in the day. Damn, we still here, brother. We got a school right here, right now. Right. You can still come. Now, I used to be down with General Yahanna. I used to be down with One West. You can still be down. What's your problem? You want to be in charge or something? So, when it comes to that, I mean, I really have nothing. All I know is I'm in charge now.